Would you want to wake up in the middle of the night to a fight outside your door? Or would you rather work a late night desk shift and have a group of 20-something people storm into the building? Hi, my name is Larissa, and you might know me from the YouTube channel Dorm Diaries. But today, I decided to bring you guys to the podcast edition and answer some questions that I feel like so many people have before going onto a college campus. What is it like living there? And is it crazy to live in the dorm room? I had these questions before I came to school, and today I sat down with two Salem State University students to ask that question. They told me some of the craziest experiences they've had, and boy, are they a doozy. Now, let's hear these stories out. The first story came from Owen, who is a freshman and has lived in Marsh Hall for the whole year.
Well, what happened was that I was a weekend night, probably a Friday or Saturday, like early October. So it's definitely like party week in Marsh Hall. And at 3 a.m., we just hear screaming and yelling. And I'm like, what the hell is this? Because I'm used to it in Marsh, right? I'm used to people like being rowdy. Because we're on the 5th floor. But this was different. This was like screaming, like swearing at each other. And so I'm like, I put on my shoes, and I just peek out the door a little bit. And I see these two girls and probably around 8 guys. And there's these two girls fighting each other with 8 guys just surrounding, watching, like exclaiming to each other. And then as they keep getting louder and louder, I close the door because I'm scared of them seeing me. And I go to my roommate, and I go, yo, wake up. There's a fight outside. And so what happens is then I open the door a little bit, and I peek my phone out, and I start recording. And so what happens is these two girls, and one of the girls who was down the hall, who was the one getting her like ass beat, was stealing clothes from the laundry room. But it wasn't a small amount of clothes. It was like 50 to 100 different articles of clothing. And I've seen it. She has her room open all the time. It is just filled with different clothes. My roommate before this didn't know how much he had. He's taken clothes from her, like bought clothes from her. So it's definitely like a side hustle. I've seen her. She goes up and down the elevator getting clothes that have been sitting there for like 4, 5, 6 hours, like on top of the dryers. And I was like, that's crazy. And then, so what I asked her like a couple days after, and I was like, did you see the fight? And he's like, yeah, I was in it.
But this fight story isn't just the only story Owen has underneath his sleeves. He has another one to tell us.
There's been a lot of times where my room has been tried to be broken into. On the 5th floor of Marsh, there's a lot of guys, people who party. And I'm on the first, I'm right by the elevator, so I hear a lot of people going down the hall to their rooms. And so what happens is that people get rowdy, people get mad. I wasn't there, but my roommate heard it, and he was with his friend. And he goes, hooligans. And then the thing is, people can hear that outside. This guy gets mad. And then what happens is that he turns around and bangs on the door. Like just bang, 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 bang. Like bangs on the door, and I can't. It's like, oh my god. Oh my god, I'm trying to get broken into. Like the handle's being shaken. He looks out, like the people, and he sees the guy like spit on our door. And as soon as that, he calls me, and I'm in Peabody at the time, so I'm on my way back, and he's about to go to UP, but he didn't really get a name. I'm walking back. Guess who's down the hall? It's the same guy, just pacing back and forth on the phone. And I'm just looking there. I just go into the same room. And I'm like, yeah, he's right out there on the phone. And after that, it didn't happen.
We're now moving on to our second story, who comes from a student who wanted to remain anonymous as they do work for the school and were scared that they were going to get in a little bit of trouble for sharing this story with me.
So I worked as a desk receptionist in Atlantic, and we have to work these 12 to 3 a.m. shifts or 3 to 6 a.m. shifts. And mine was scheduled. It was a 12 to 3 a.m. on a Friday night into Saturday. Every single time I worked that shift, something would happen. But the worst thing, it was at 2 a.m. and there's that side door in Atlantic. Someone opened the door who lived there, and then, like, I counted. It was like 25 people who stormed in all at once, and none of them were students. They were all outside people who lived around the area. But yeah, did not go here. So that's a big security thing. And then me and my coworker were like, you need a host per 2 guests. You need to get tapped in. The one girl who was hosting everybody was like, yeah. We'll get people to tap you guys in. And then they all just scattered, and it was like 6 people went to the elevator, some people went to the gender neutral bathroom, some people just ran upstairs. Or my coworker was like, oh shit, dude, we have to call university police now. So she called, and it was 2 officers. It was 1 woman and 1 guy. And then they came over, and we said, hey, this is what happened. And then the police, went upstairs, tried to check everything out, because there was a party happening in 3 different suites at the same time. The guy officer went upstairs, tried to, disperse everything. The woman was down with us. And then all of a sudden, all of the other people, all those 25 people, just come running down the stairs, and they're running around. And she called the man officer, was like, hey, we have so many people down here, like, where are you? And he was like, oh, I didn't know that. And they were not in sync at all. And she was so annoyed. But he came down eventually, and then every single person walked out. And then by that time, it was 3 a.m. And then our shift was over. So we leave. And as we're leaving, I hear an argument, like a screaming argument, happen outside from that group of people in the parking lot. And this girl was saying, she was like, I'm a brainiac. You don't know me. I'm so smart. She was just going off with somebody. I was like, I can't do this. It was 3 a.m. I had to walk like 10 minutes back to my room. That was the worst thing. But everything else is more kind of funny. But yeah.
There you have it. Some of the craziest experiences some college students have had while living on a college campus. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and if you want more, just let me know and leave a comment down below. Thank you.